Alright, what up YouTube? Yu-Gi-Oh 101 here. If my voice sounds familiar, it's because my old account was EGB Poll. Yeah guys, this is gonna be my new account. Some random stuff was happening with my other account. There were a lot of people spamming random stuff that was just irrelevant. So I made this account. This account's gonna be more based on uh like a class, like when somebody says, "Oh, you're going to math 101, so you're about to go learn about like basic math." So I'm gonna be teaching you guys about like basic Yu-Gi-Oh and how to better yourself in the game with simple things. But the first thing that I want to do with this vid here is a little intro. And then I'm also gonna show you guys a deck that I'm playing right now for the current format, which is January 2014. And it's a deck that's been completely overlooked, but I think it's has a very viable chance of competing against any deck right now in the format. So I'm going to show you guys a deck, and there's a few proxies, but not too many. So bear with me, and I'll go ahead and explain a few cards that need explaining. Otherwise, I won't really explain much. So right off the top, you have a Blaster, a Tempest, and a Redox. So this deck is going to be a Dragon Ruler plant deck. I call it the Cray Cray Dragon Ruler plant, or Cray Cray plants. Just because Crane Crane goes Cray Cray. I know it sounds very questionable, but it is what it does. Crane Crane's a very good card in this deck, so I'm going to show you guys what the basis is and how the deck pretty much filters and wins. So you have your three dragons. A lot of the plant decks right now that I've seen play Tidal, which has zero synergy with this deck. Tidal literally has zero synergy. Like, you don't play any waters to fuel it. Just makes no sense to play Tidal in this deck at all. Like, the only thing that you have to feel Tidal is the same things that you have to feel these guys, which are the dragons. But these guys are also searchable, or they have searchable targets. Every single one of these is a searchable target. Like, Blaster searches Flamvell Guard, Tempest searches Debris Dragon, Redox searches Kidmodo Dragon. Tidal, literally, if it gets banished, you get nothing. Yeah, 26 is nice, but not really. It's not worth it. You'd rather play more consistent cards. So you have those, and then for the rest of the Dragon lineup, you have to play 2 Flamvell Guard because you play double Dragon Shine. So you always want to be able to dump 2 Dragon Shine. That way, even if you draw one of these and a Dragon Shine, you can still double Flamvell Guard and like a Blaster and make it live. So 2 of those. You play 1 Kidmodo Dragon. Kidmodo's really good. Actually, I use his effect sometimes. Like, if you go first turn Dragon Shine, you summon like Flamvell Guard and Kidmodo Dragon, and you have a big guy in your hand with like a 1-star tuner. You could activate like Kidmodo, bring out one of the big guys, and then like summon the 1-star and make like a first turn Stardust, Spark, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, something to threaten, especially if you have back row. Like Stardust might be a really good idea. But he's really good too because he's a Crane target. That's the main reason why he's in here. And then Debris Dragon's the last dragon, but I put him right in front of the plant engine because everybody considers Debris pretty much a part of the plant engine, which I do too, but he's a dragon, so I put him in between the 2 engines. And he's self-explanatory. Like, he's like your reset button if you need a Black Rose, or he's your further to play if you need a Scrap Dragon. For the plant engine, you have your 2 Lonefire Blossoms, right? You have your Dandylion, you have your Spore, and then I also play Tytannial. Tytannial, yeah, everybody's going to be like, oh, but what happens if you draw Tytannial? The whole thing with Tytannial is this, is if this card gets dropped and the opponent's Bottomless / Torrential is pretty much gone, the only card you're really worried about at that point is either Dark Hole or Mirror Force, because this card will stop like a lot of the opponent's plays, especially against like Fire Fist, for example. They won't be able to bear anything. They won't be able to Gyoku anything. They won't be able to MST anything. They won't be able to like do anything. Like a lot of times I'll just chill on Tytannial off of Malaya. Like, I'll make Malaya with like a Crane and a Dandy after Dandy comes back. I'll make Malaya, and then Malaya will bring back a Lonefire Tribute off a token, get another Lonefire Tribute off the last token, and get Tytannial. So now my field went from just nothing to Crane, bring back Dandy, and now I have a Tytannial, 2 Lonefires in defense that are threatening, and a Malaya. So it's really good. And she's 28. So a lot of times when somebody will Maxx me, like, I'll go summon Lonefire, they'll go Maxx off the tribute. I don't have to go any further. I can just get Tytannial and be over something that's 28. Like, very few things are bigger than 28. Like, the only card that I could like think about right now that's like commonly played that's bigger than 28 is like a World of Prophecy or a Blue Eyes. Other than that, like Tytannial pretty much beats over everything. And then for your Crane engine, you play double Card Trooper, and you play double Crane. So at first I was playing 3 Crane because Crane's not like Tour Guide. You always want this guy in hand. Like Tour Guide, if you draw multiples of Tour Guide, it becomes dead. This guy, he's never dead. But he's good at 2. Like you don't want to like make yourself more prone to like random stuff in the main. Like if somebody's main decking DDV, for example, or some sort of nonsense, like, or you don't want to get less prone into Valor or Maxx. Like he's just a good consistent card at 2. You don't want to have to get out of your consistency. And Trooper, obviously, he mills dragons, he mills everything. Even if he mills bad, though, the thing about him is he's getting through your deck faster to get to your cards. Because if you get to your cards faster than your opponent, especially in this deck, you're most likely going to win. Because like the Dragon Lures will just eat up back row, they'll eat up your opponent's resources really quickly. Because they're big. And they make Draco Sacks and Big Eyes. So they have to eat up stuff. And the Troopers replace themselves. So they're really good. And they're 19. So a lot of times you could just bring them in against like Fire Fist and beat over stuff, and it's good. I play the 1 Thunder King because it's good against everything right now. I'm not going to talk about that card. And then I do play hand traps. So this is very controversial right now on whether or not you should be playing hand traps. In my honest opinion, I tested a lot yesterday with like Adam, who's a good friend of mine, Adam Korn, and our other friend Maxx Halper, and they're both very, very good players, obviously. Everybody knows who Adam is, and Maxx, if you guys don't know about Maxx is a very good player as well. He plays Yugioh just about as much as anybody else that I know. These cards we found were crucial in the main deck. Like I found that Valor was just really crucial in the main deck because like against Gear Gias, you need a way to stop them from OTKing you. And Valor does that because you could like stop the armor, you could stop the beret, you could stop the Gigant, you could stop so many things. And then Maxx obviously is very good because it stops everything. Like Maxx will just like let you draw for days. Like especially against the 3-axis Fire Fist. People don't know this, but Maxx is really good against that deck. Like Maxx will almost always go 2 for 1. Anytime they summon a Spirit, Maxx will almost guaranteed go 2 for 1. Because they have to go Spirit, summon, get a Leopard back. You know, Maxx there. They're not going to leave the Spirit on board because now they have no real way to fetch it next turn. Like back to their hand to continue their plays. So what ends up happening is that they make up like a Lion, Lion Emperor. And then they detach the Spirit and they get the Spirit back to their hand. So you just do 2 cards off your Maxx. Yeah, they have Spirit next turn, but it's still really good. Or if they go Rekindling, like this is going to go 3 for 1. Maybe 4 for 1, depending on what their play. Sometimes they feel like they have to push through back row, and they'll make even a bigger push. You'll just draw mad cards. Like, Maxx is just too good. It's good against Mermail, it's good against Gear Gia, obviously with the Beret plays. It's good against so many decks. Like, there's no point not to play it. The only deck that's, like, commonly played right now that this is not good against. Oh, it's really good against Hieratic. I forgot that. Hieratic's being played a lot. This is really good against Hieratic. Maxx is just not really good against spellbooks, but Valor's really good against spellbooks. So, I mean, it's really up to you, but I think 2 and 2 is the way to go. And worst case scenario in here, Maxx's Redox fuel. And I know you guys are probably like thinking the whole time, well, those are upside down Rai-Ohs, those aren't Maxx's. Yeah, I'm trying to get my Maxx's, hopefully, like tomorrow or the day after, something of that sort. Let's go in with the spells. The spells, you play 2 Dragon Shrine. This card's really broken. I knew from the second that this card got printed it was going to be really broken. We were just waiting. Like, they were never needed when you were playing Dragons because you had babies to pitch. Last format, you had, like, 7-star Sword to constantly, like, have stuff. Like, you had Dragon Ravine. Now with Dragon Ravine gone and no babies, like, now you need, like, a double Foolish Burial, which is what this is. Like, Blue Eyes versions play this. Obviously, it's pretty broken in the Blue Eyes version. Like, being able to go dump Blue Eyes or dump Flamvell Guard, dump Whitestone, add Blue Eyes, stuff like that is pretty good. But in this version, it gets your deck going really, really well, especially first turn. If you open with this on a Crane, you're automatically going to have like a Malaya play. Like, it's really good. I like Dragon Shrine a lot. And then Gold Sark is broken. Like, Gold Sarking for Tempest, getting the Bree Dragon and having that threat is amazing. Like, it's so good. And you can Gold Sark any dragon and get a +1 off of it. Because you can Gold Sark like Blaster, get Flamvell Guard. You Gold Sark Redox and get like a Kidmodo. If your hand has a Crane and you have no way of getting a 3, that's also a viable play. And when you get the Redox to your hand, you'd be able to like double pitch for a Reborn. When you get the Blaster to your hand, you'll be able to double pitch for a hit. Like if you're playing Evil Swarm. Like first turn, if I'm playing against Evil Swarm, I'd probably go Gold Sark for the Blaster, get the Flamvell Guard. Wait my 2 turns because they're probably not going to be able to kill me. And pop the Ophion if it's giving me a trouble. And then I play one Duality just for some added consistency. This is actually the 41st card. It's really good, especially game 2 when you sideboard. Pot of Dichotomy is very good, especially mid to late game when you're going through your resources pretty quickly. It's not a win more card. People think this is like a win more card. It's not a win more card. It's actually just a card to keep your resources flowing. Like, it keeps you in the game. Because a lot of times this deck can run out of fuel towards the end, especially if you already removed most of your things for your dragons. So this helps you like get your cranes back so that they're available again for like Leviair, things like that. Like, skipping a battle phase is not that important if you're drawing 2 and putting more pressure on your opponent. Foolish Burial is obviously a good plant card. I play Book of Moon for protection. Dark Hole's really good right now. And then 3 MSTs. People are feeling very controversial about this. I think you have to play 3 MSTs in the main right now. Like, especially with Fire Fists as big as they are. I found, like, if you could MST all their tankies, like, I know obviously it doesn't happen that way, but if you could, like, keep their tankies off the field, you're in good shape. So, yeah. And then for my traps, I play one Call the Haunted. This is the only non-defensive trap that I play. And sometimes it could even be a defensive trap. Like, you can call back, like, a Scrap Dragon. Like, when they're attacking you for game. And you can call back a Scrap Dragon, now they can't attack for game, and next turn you're in a threatening position again. But yeah, it's like the only non-defensive trap that I play. All the defense that I play double Fiendish Chain. It's really good right now. Play one Torrential, one Bottomless, one Compulse, one Warning. These are all your limited broken traps. You got to play them. For the longest, actually, I wasn't playing Compulse, but I got convinced yesterday to play it again because it was just really good. I play one Mirror Force. I took out the second one just to make the deck 41. I felt like it was necessary to make it 41. Like 42, I was just drawing really inconsistent. I know you guys probably thinking, oh, Paul, it's just one card. How inconsistent can it be with one card more? You'd be surprised. Like, when you're playing this deck, you'd be surprised, like, what one card could do. Like, one card could do a lot, especially you'll notice it when you're, like, Trooper Milling. Like, when you're Trooper Milling and you're adding more traps, like, you don't want to add more traps when you're Trooper Milling. Like, you want more monsters. Which is another reason why I added the hand traps. Because even if I milled the hand traps, I could dichotomy them back, or I could just remove for Redox, like with the Maxx, so it's fine. The one Maxx, and then I play the one Wing Blast. The one Wing Blast is good just if you have cards in your hand that you want to discard. There's times where you like draw Dandylion, Spore, Tytannial, a big dragon, Kidmodo, stuff like that that you just want in the graveyard. Just Wing Blast something. Wing Blast is obviously a really good trap in general. The other thing that I forgot to mention with Tytannial is like she's multi-purpose, because if you have in her hand, you could like get a Tempest. If you draw a Tempest, or if you Gold Sarc for a Tempest, something of that sort, to your hand, you'd be able to pitch the Tytannial and Tempest and search out a dragon. It happens a lot, actually. You'd be surprised. But yeah, that's the main deck. I won't go into Side or Extra. If it gets requests enough for Side and Extra, I'm not expecting a lot of views on this vid because it's a new account. But yeah, whoever does see this, please spread the word that I'm back. Yu-Gi-Oh 101. And I'll be posting up a lot of tips videos about how to get better in this game. And yeah, this was the first vid, guys. Take care. Bye.